thrilled to be part of the GGSE community since about 1990 when I started on my adventure towards the PhD. During that time, I was a full-time career counselor, and one of my favorite groups to work with were our TEP programs, the students who were going off to become professional teachers. And I got a great payoff for that. My daughters are now in high school, and many of their very, very best teachers and administrators are graduates of the GGSE. It's been a great time. And I think this is a very exciting time for the Graduate School of Education. I love the new leadership, and I like that the dean got us all out of our offices in downtown to have this great meeting tonight. We're just blocks away from the Anna C. Blake Teaching Academy, which became eventually UCSB. So thanks for bringing us back to our roots. Well, in 2015, the New York Times sent a team out to look at access and research and universities and colleges. Essentially, they wanted to find out which colleges are making it easiest for our particularly low-income Americans to have a great experience and take a degree and go off into the world of work. They looked at things like grants, which colleges allowed students to get the best grants. Services, which colleges and universities offered students the best chance at being successful. And I think importantly, they looked at graduation rates, which colleges and universities help students graduate. But when they were done with this study and they put out the results, the University of California ran the table. 6 of the top 10 universities were UC schools. UCSB was 3rd. We don't have a football team, do you notice that? But I think this data was worth 10,000 touchdowns. We were very excited about this. And I loved the title that was given to UCSB and the UCs. They said that the University of California is an economic mobility machine. I don't know why I like that so much, but it's just such a beautiful sounding thing. Well, I have this class that has 200 transfer students in it. And in this slide right now, you're looking at an image of Petra Van Kopen. Dr. Van Kopen is one of our celebrated chemistry faculty members. And once upon a time, she immigrated to the United States and to California and to Santa Barbara. And she was of college age at that time, and Dr. Van Kopen enrolled in Santa Barbara City College and then transferred to UCSB on her way to the doctorate and to becoming this great celebrated science educator. I think that Dr. Van Kopen has taken great advantage of the California Master Plan for Higher Education. This is the plan that was invented by the father of our current governor, and Clark Kerr, and many others, and it's what made this really, California, the higher education envy of the entire world. Transfer students take advantage of this great master plan, and it is fraying. Sometimes the California master plan reminds me a bit of that the dam up at above Oroville, California. It is definitely in peril right now. But these students, when they come into my class, the transfer students, they remind me of the power of the California Master Plan for Education. UCSB admits 2,000 transfer students per year. In fact, in this next admission season, one for every 2 first-year students, 1 transfer student will be admitted to UCSB. So it's wonderful, but our transfer students do experience what is called by a researcher named Hill, transfer shock. And some of you may have felt some shock when you came to Santa Barbara for the first time. If you were born at Cottage Hospital or St. Francis Hospital, then you probably didn't experience this shock. But many of you may have a memory of the first week that you arrived in Santa Barbara. You tried to pronounce the names of our streets. You realized how expensive housing was here and how food was even expensive. Our students feel that, but our transfer students also say some very specific things. They say that arriving at UCSB is like arriving at a dinner party that has many courses already underway. They feel a little awkward arriving at this university as a transfer student. They feel old. And when you look out at them, when I look out from the stage there, they don't look old to me. They're in their early, like 24 or something like that. But if you're 24 at UCSB, you're likely to call yourself Pops, or our school skews very young. Here's the biggest shock our students get. They're coming from the semester system. They're used to 16-week quarters, and suddenly they're in this exciting 10-week quarter. That's very difficult for them. So this course that I've been able to run for a number of years now at 118 has a 20-person teaching team comprised of staff and fellow students. And the students are able to build community and get a better start at UCSB. We also highlight resources for the students, so they take advantage of counseling services and the tutorial center and so forth. What we're constantly asking ourselves is, what is different and unique about a research university, and how do we help our students understand that? What do faculty expect of them at UCSB? I have some techniques from my course. One of my favorites is everyone goes to the career fair. So even if the student has just been at our campus for a week or two in the class and there's a career fair coming up, everyone suits up and we go talk to Google and the Peace Corps and all these different recruiters that come, and the students ask, what do I need to have on my portfolio between now and when I graduate so that you'll hire me so I can go off to the next stage of my life? Everyone in my course writes a letter to a faculty member and asks to be on their research team. And many students get accepted to research teams, and when they do, we dance and celebrate them. Also, all of our students participate in 3 experiential learning activities. So they come to events downtown and on campus that they wouldn't go to normally. So we have a fun time curating that list for students, and they write about and reflect on that experience. They do a lot of writing. They do academic writing and journal writing for us. And what a joy to be able to read what's happening with them as they make the transition to a research university. And when I'm reading those stories, I find some great ones. And I would like to share the story of Ruben with you. Ruben showed up about 3 years ago at UCSB, not to be a student, but to drop off his first-year student on campus. And when he emptied the car and hugged his son, and his son looked at him and said, "Dad, you're a coach, you're a military veteran, you raised we kids, and you always told us to follow our dreams. Dad, are you following your dreams?" And Ruben got in the car, thought about this all the way back to northern LA, docked the car in the garage, went into the house, opened his laptop, and began the process of becoming a transfer student at UCSB. Ruben was in my class last quarter, and Ruben's son is still a gaucho, but that must feel very strange to walk across the campus. Hi, Dad. I didn't really need this. But it's so exciting that they're both on campus. So I think that an amazing thing is that this is a strong institution, and hopefully these 17,000 applications that just arrived for new transfer students, they're being looked at now, and hopefully we'll be able to accept a lot of them, and they'll take my class and take part in this amazing educational process. Thank you.